Warning: this video contains spoilers about the Sonic movie. If you haven't watched the movie and don't want to be spoiled, please click off the video. Your discretion is advised.
Hello George, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Louis Vuitton. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for joining my channel.
No worries, it's nice to be here. Thank you for having me. So yeah, today we'll be talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, the 2021. What are your initial thoughts on it?
Oh mate, I loved it. It was fantastic. I've been to the cinema like 4 times to watch it. Perfect. How did you find it?
Yeah, I remember what. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good film. It's definitely better than some of the stuff that I've seen recently. So yeah, overall, pretty good. Good cast. It's a Paramount production. Obviously, the director was Jeff Flower, with the writers of Pat Casey and Josh Miller, starring Ben Schwartz, James Marsden, Jim Carrey, and a whole other ton of stars. So yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Sonic was also a pretty big star in that. Obviously, I probably wouldn't have seen it if he wasn't in there.
True
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna say it,
Yeah,
when the movie came out, I didn't know anyone other than Jim Carrey. Like, I didn't know any of the other actors, and that's what made the movie perfect, because those actors shine on their movie. So it was really good.
Yeah. As it happens, I did know Ben Schwartz. He's done a couple of other things, and what's his name? Is it James Marsden? I have seen him before, and even is it Tika Sumpter? But yeah, her. I thought it was filled with comedy, and I liked the fact that there was the crazy sister-in-law who was like, we should call the police.
Yeah, I
And
love
the other one was a
her.
vet.
She was the best in
Her.
that film after Jim Carrey. Like, she was hilarious. And that's the thing, I
Yeah.
really enjoyed the fact that the movie had a lot of humor, but it wasn't that humor that it
Yes.
was forced inside the movie. You see other movies and they're like, oh, let's make them now laugh. Oh, let's force a joke here. That movie went flawlessly. There was no such an error in it. I really enjoyed that
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
Because obviously seeing the
Also, it had
movie...
a bit of a-
Oh, sorry. Say?
No worries. Yeah, it had a bit of a sarcastic tone to it in times, which I thought was a good aspect.
Yeah, I totally agree there. Because it's Sonic movie, you have to be sarcastic. Like, that's Sonic's character.
Yep. I mean, he's a blue fellow. He's got big eyes, a very small nose, and fox-like ears, even though he's a hedgehog.
True that.
Um,
What were your initial thoughts after seeing the first trailer of the film?
my first thoughts were Jim Carrey looks like he's just been in Star Trek. That was my first thought. Second thought was probably I'm glad that they changed the Sonic the Hedgehog, because when I first saw the poster that they were bringing out, I was like, oh my goodness, that thing would give me nightmares.
Only nightmares?
Not to say that I'm. Yeah, I mean, now he looks a bit more cute, but initially looking at it, I was a bit, I mean, I'm not the bravest person of everyone, but I'll get a job done. But that would scare me. If I ever saw him down a dark alleyway, I'd leg it. I mean, he'd be faster than me because he's Sonic, but I'd still run away.
Yeah, when that first trailer came out with the Gangsta's Paradise song, I was like, this thing is not a Sonic. Like, have you seen the muscles, fam? There's no way that Sonic can have these muscles. He was so realistic, and his eyes and his teeth, his nose. It was so bad that when it came out, my first thoughts were, this movie is gonna be terrible, but Jim Carrey is gonna carry it a lot. But thankfully they changed it, and we have this cute thing.
I think definitely at one point Jim did carry the Sonic. That's how he got his little energy thing, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought, I mean, we'll go into it more later, but my initial thoughts on Jim's performance was it was too good. He scared me.
We do not deserve such a good actor.
He just, yeah, I mean, he just played that evil fellow too well. If I saw him and he's stuck in that sort of character, then I'd be slightly worried.
Fair enough.
Oh, I love it. I love it when the guy's like, when they went to the lift, and he's like, so what have you got in that bag? Oh, don't worry, it's just it's a child. It's a child in the bag.
Yeah,
And he's like, help me, I can't breathe.
in the elevator, it smells so bad.
Yes.
Oh, I'm a cop, don't worry, it's nothing. Shush, Alex, shush. That was hilarious, I agree.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on the story of the film?
Overall, I thought it was well composed. There are aspects of it that I feel that it was turned into a story rather than it was a Sonic story. So there's lots of aspects that they alluded to, and even though they did sort of tell you how he got there, and he was raised by, was it the owl person? Yeah, so stuff like that. I felt that could have been its own separate film. So say for example he's just popping about, and then these guys with spears and whatnot, go around. I mean, I like the little owl person. Why can't they save the owl person? Do they have to die?
I was
Can't you just
surprised they
regenerate
put
them?
her in it, because there is no such thing in the video games or in the comics. She was an original character made for the film, and then she was just died. It was so weird.
Yeah, this is my point.
But
Yeah, it's
seeing
like, where did they come from?
what's called, the DVDs come with some extra back scenes of how the old Sonic was and what they changed. Apparently that
Oh, yeah.
All was supposed to leave, because you see her escape with Sonic, and then she flies away with him, and then she dies of old age.
Yeah,
But we never got to see that, so it kind of makes you wonder
I would
what
have
was the
preferred
original film. I don't know,
Yeah.
because if you had the all there, it changes a lot of the story. Because then she dies out of old age, and you're like, okay, so now Sonic is alone. But then again, the movie gives you a lot of insight of how Sonic felt. You see him being, oh, these are my friends. Oh, this is the Donald Lord, but I never talked to them, so we're like a family that I'm not invited in. They made a great effort in the story to show that sense of loneliness in Sonic, and his entire dream and everything. I personally really did enjoy that. I felt like they did a great job.
Yep.
And although you can summon the story as a road trip, I don't feel like it was an entire road trip. Because
No.
yeah, it is go from Green Hills to San Francisco, but it's not just the road trip. It's the character build-ups, the story, all that. Dr. Eggman.
Yes, but surely can we not argue that the whole thing, it did set the emotion really well, and it set all those different things. But for me, I was kind of expecting it to be a bit more like the game. With they had a good classic noises, at the end of the game and stuff like that. It was a good sort of rendition, but it was rather confusing. They didn't add. Well, they had a lot of Easter eggs in there. Literally, not talking about Dr. Eggman, Dr. Easter Eggman. But there was a lot of things that I feel that they could have added or taken out and changed and stuff like that. I was a bit confused by him being called, by the little devil, stuff like that. Because if it was Knuckles, I could definitely have got that, but and stuff like that. And but I felt that overall it was pretty cool.
You see,
And
in
good
terms
story.
of the Easter eggs, I agree and disagree, because there were so many of them that we couldn't actually see them all. For example,
Yes.
they used the meme of Sonic, the drawing of the crazy guy drawing Sonic. He made the meme that was a huge thing. Or they make the Super Smash,
I love that.
the Super Smash Brother pose. They made some sounds that they mixed them, so although it was the sound of the video game, you couldn't hear it because it was mixed the way it was. It's just
Yes.
so weird. And the story that they could have done with the video games, I agree and disagree, because again, this was like a new origin story. So
Yes.
we see Dr. Eggman at the end of the film becoming Dr. Eggman, like the bald and the mustache and all that. But all we've known it was that he was a guy who was a high IQ, who was making machines. But he wasn't evil. He wasn't. You can't say he was evil. He was just a guy who was making military stuff for the military. He wasn't insane, or he didn't try to kill someone. He was hired to do his job. So you can't say he was basically trying to protect the humanity from that alien blue hedgehog. You can't say he was bad. But I think that we're gonna, after the credits, and we can see how he's gonna turn twisted and baddish, if it makes sense.
Yeah, and this is why I feel that Jim played it really well. He played it really well, and he just came across as evil
Yeah, he was
and a bit mental.
very
He
good
plays
guy.
those roles really well. Yeah, whether it's the Grinch, mental evil, he does that, or the masked fellow, or man, or whatever his name is.
He's a
And again,
legend.
mental evil.
I felt like he combined his most of his successful roles in that one, because you had the mystery mentality of Enigma from the Batman. You had the
Oh yeah.
fast speech from the Ace Ventura films, where he's like, blah 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 blah, and he's giving you all this huge explanation. And then he had Dr. Stones be like, oh, basically Dr. Eggman says you're stupid. All those things, all those overreactions, all those emphases, the dancing. I just felt like it was one of his best performances ever made. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Ah, well, you say best performance. I really liked him in Dumb and Dumber. Even in the first, the second, the third, whatever. I really liked that, and for me, that's where he solidified his own little aspect of acting. Now, it's debatable, but it's just utterly hilarious.
I don't think you can say, oh, I like this Jim Carrey. I think every movie he's like there. I don't think I can see that he was bad in this movie. Even when he's playing a bad guy, he was so good. Have you seen the Thriller 23?
Has his own... Yeah.
Yeah, that guy in a Thriller, and it's good. But yeah, back to the Sonic. We're going off topic.
Yes, yeah, we went a bit there, but I thought overall graphics were good. But initially, when it was first released, I was like, oh dear, I probably won't see that because it's it's scary. Well, not that I wouldn't see it if it was scary. I just I thought that Sonic was scary, and I thought that might ruin the atmosphere a bit. Because if you just see a CGI pixelated child-looking person with blue hair, funky eyes, and running around naked, trying to collect rings and whatnot.
You see Detective
sounds a bit
Pikachu
dodgy.
be cute, and then you had that thing being terrible and scary.
Yeah. I mean, social services would have been onto that child. Should have been onto that child. And that's another point. Where was the animal people, the RSPCA, animal welfare? Where were they in all of this?
You mean in the film?
You don't get... for Sonic. Because you've just caught a massive blue hedgehog.
I mean, you saw, what's his name? The Donald Lord. Although he said that it's a hedgehog, it doesn't look like a hedgehog. When Sonic said, isn't it obvious? I'm a hedgehog inside the car. He's like, a hedgehog? So that's what I think, because if they saw Sonic, because supposedly Sonic has only been seen by a few people, because he's moving so fast. So I don't think that if they were to see him, they'll be like, oh, it's a hedgehog. They'll be like, nah, it's an alien, it's a scary thing. It's a guy with 2 hands, 2 feet, a huge head, runs fast, talks. Definitely not an animal, mate. Even what's her name? He's the Donald Lord's wife. She's supposed to be studying human animals' behaviors and animal treatment. And when she touched Sonic, she was like, she's weird.
Really? Yeah, it's a new one to add to the list. I've not come across this animal before. She's learning. She could get to learn about this little hedgehog fellow.
Yeah, but obviously
she's probably done hedgehogs.
They treated him like an alien. They didn't treat him like a legit animal.
Well, you can't take him to the doctors, can you? They go, oh look, don't worry about this. It's my little, blue-haired child.
I'm pretty sure he'll freak out.
We didn't dye it, right? It's just naturally blue. Yeah. I mean, and he's got, he does run around with no clothes on, but that's his preference.
Excuse you, have you noticed Sonic in the bar where he put his sombrero hat, his sunglasses, his beautiful robe in the bar scene?
I think that was pretty good, actually. Yeah, I really liked that one.
Oh, and that's
pretty cool.
That's the thing. When you were talking about Sonic, I was expecting a lot of slow motion, and I was like, that's gonna be bad. They didn't use so much of slow motion. It's like in 2 scenes only.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a fantastic thing, because if it was slow all the time, you'll be bored. But the way they used it once in the beginning and once near the end, it just made it the whole better. the whole
Yes.
experience.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't there a bit where he got to drive the car?
Yes, his sister car, not his car.
Yeah. This is the point. Is that at this point, you know, why doesn't he get to drive a Sonic car or something like that? You know, you could bring out a couple of things. I think, you know, it's all about a franchise bringing in extra little bits that, you know, they've already got. You know, maybe
Apparently,
fix the car.
apparently in the first scenario that they wrote, the director Jeff said that he wanted to use the Chaos Emeralds in more than one or two characters. Like, he wanted to put Knuckles, he wanted to put Tails, but he cut it all out and he made this film an origin, so that he will build a universe later on. So it might be like Marvel, you know how they did the first Iron Man, and then after they saw success they started making different movies, and then they started implementing elements that cross each other to make a universe, and that is the Marvel
Yeah.
Cinematic. So they might do something like this. They might start with Sonic, then give you an origin. Then, as we saw at the end, Tails comes, so they have different scenarios they can go with. But that's an idea for a different video, I suggest. We should definitely do another one for that. Back to this film. How did you
to be
find?
honest,
Yeah.
they could probably have just done, you know, for the beginning bit, how Sonic was born. There was some sort of hedgehog who had too many Fruit Loops that day, and boom, you got a blue hedgehog, you got a yellow hedgehog,
Yeah,
you got
but
a red hedgehog, and a pink hedgehog.
we're supposed to not know his origin. That's the thing. I don't think there
Why
is
not?
any video game or anything that confirms what Sonic's origins for. So it's just a blue hedgehog who runs fast. That's it. No need to search the
what hap-
background.
Well, we got the owl person, haven't we? We've got that.
No, we
mean, how
don't.
did
We
the-
don't
you know-
have them, mate. She's gone. She's long gone. She's
Well,
dead.
we had them, yeah. But you know, where does that put? You know, does like 5 hedgehogs come out of you know, one of those birds? I mean, how's that even happened? I mean, I know they're different colours, right? Maybe they're like Ninja Turtles, you know, with Splinter. You know, he's just, you know, he's like, all right, how you doing? All right, yeah,
Yeah,
we're all right.
I
We're all
don't
on
know.
the same boat.
Searching that thing is. I wouldn't like that to be the first film. Like, it was gonna be bad in my opinion. Because
I can see what you're saying.
they wanted to bring Sonic in our world, but if you are starting a war in their world, then you want to see their world. You know, it's like, what's its name?
Yeah.
Ready Player One film. It was a great film. It had a great progress and story, but they put it all in one film, and that ruined it. Because they could have easily gone and made, oh, the first film is about getting the first key, the second, and the third key, and then the war. But they made it all in one film, and you lost so much that the film disappointed. So it's the same with this one. Imagine if Sonic was to fight those people, then escape to our world, and then go back. They're gonna cut so much out of the story, and it's gonna be like forced, and it's gonna be bad.
That is true.
But if they
Maybe
made
they
it,
should do a prologue. Prologue? Not
yeah, that's what I'm.
prequel. There we go.
That's what I'm seeing this film as, because you know that there are people who are chasing Sonic in his world. As you saw from the All and the Rings, there are different universes that Sonic can travel. And then there is the Tails who managed to come to grab Sonic. So they can easily now mix the whole universes and make a perfect story. Because you have...
But what colour would Sonic's parents be?
But,
This is a good question, you know. Because,
don't
you know, you got the
know.
pink one, you got the yellow one, you got the red one, you got the shadow one. What colour?
No, because that universe is full with stuff. You know, you have Silver who is Silver, you have the bee, you have the crocodile, you have Green Hedgehog, you have the purple one, you have so many characters. It's just a universe.
point,
I
maybe it was
don't think there's something. It's just a universe, you know. You don't question why Pikachu is green, is yellow, or why Charmander is orange. You just go with it. It's just there. It's their universe. It's their world. Yeah.
Yeah, but Pikachu's parents are probably yellow, aren't they?
That's just me. It's true. Anyway, back to the movie.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the universe of Sonic? The characters.
It was alright. Like I said just a second ago about how I feel they could have done another prequel to it.
No, we're talking about the film. Let's not go about prequels and sequels. About the specific film.
I thought it was good. Good to see Tails in the at the end.
Mhm.
That Dr. Eggman, he's a bit weird. You know, he also. Do you know what he needs? He needs a hug. Someone needs to give him a hug. You know, just to explain to him.
I mean,
He doesn't need to be mad.
he'll probably punch you if you do that. Or use his
Yeah, but
robots.
it's not going to be hard, is it? He's not going to do that much. You know.
I mean, didn't he
You know.
didn't he beat the hooligan in the bar when they played good cop, bad cop? When he said, he'll tell us what you know about the hedgehog, or else you're gonna what? And he's being thrown out of the window. So I'm pretty sure he can punch hard,
Oh, yeah.
mate. Or he can use
That's a good
his
point.
computer to make you a smoothie. That's also a thing.
We'll get someone else. We'll get someone he likes to give him a hug, and then he'll be happier.
Yeah, I personally,
He's clearly got problems.
yeah, I personally love that universe. I felt like everything was perfect. You know, it was a peaceful
Yeah.
town. You had the crazy one who was the one who actually seen Sonic. You had the Donald Lord Barkowski who was thinking. He had dreams. He wanted to leave the town, and then you had his wife who was like who wanted to support him, and she said that it didn't feel forced because she gave you that beautiful story of how he worked 3 times in order for her to do her study. So when he was said that I need to go to San Francisco, her supporting him was not forced. It was well explained and very well built up. And then you get to see what his dream is, and by the end of the film, he gets to save a life. He gets to fulfill his target. Same with Sonic, as I mentioned before. The film did a fantastic job to show us how lonely he was. So at the end, when the entire town comes to his rescue, it felt so good and so rewarding, because you know that's what Sonic wants.
Yeah.
Same with the handshake. In the baseball scene, you can see how lonely he feels and how he starts running and creates that EMP thing. And at the end, when Wachowski gives him that high five, he's running like a little kid, because he's a little kid. He's just so excited. I really enjoyed that.
He's definitely had too many Fruit Loops, that's for certain. I mean, if I was going at that speed, I would have definitely had a couple of packs of that.
That is true. Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's had too many sweets. Anyway, back to the film. So yeah, I think you've touched upon some very good and valid points there. Yeah, I agree with most of them. And yeah, the graphics was good. Good film, well composed. And yeah, I think that's basically that.
Is there something you
we
didn't like?
discussed it before. Yeah. I thought Dr. Eggman was too scary. I thought that it was good that they changed to Sonic, because that would have scared me too. You know, when I watch a Sonic film, I remember the cartoons, and they're pretty good. So I wasn't particularly scared.
Dr. Eggman should be that guy who will bring you fear, you know? As we saw in his introduction, it was
not that much fear.
His introduction was fantastic.
I mean, I had an accident. Do you remember I had an accident in the cinema?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, quickly moving on.
Dr. Eggman's introduction was so fantastic. The fact that they brought the people that had the power in the United States to talk about, and then he says, "We have to bring him," and they're all like, "No, not him." And then you see Jim Carrey come with a huge van with robots, and he's like, "These are my babies," and he instantly gets the job done. He finds the footprints, he finds the Sonic's house, he finds everything, which shows how much good bad guy this guy is. And like I said, I don't feel like he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's just a guy hired to do his job to protect humanity from an alien being.
Well, it'd make a pretty terrible story if he didn't find him.
And then he did find a way to use Sonic's speed to make his own blimp, and you had that chase scene with the red and blue flashes going left and right around the world, to the China's wall, to everything. And fun fact, everything that they went through on that chase, it was on Sonic's to-do list. That's what I noticed on my second scene. He wanted to run on the China wall. Guess what? He ran on the China wall while being chased. He wanted to go in the pyramids. He went to the pyramids. It was fantastic. But what I would love to see that we didn't see enough I feel like they could have shown a bit more of the Green Hill Zone. And I don't mean the Green Hill Zone of their world, I mean Sonic's world. Because we only saw it for like 5 minutes for the introduction when Kid Sonic was running around giving us introduction. But I'm guessing they are saving it for the sequel.
Or a prequel.
Nah, I don't feel like...
Spoiler alert.
Nah, I don't feel like what prequel can they do? Because they gave you the origin, you have it there.
Yeah, but you can always revisit it. It's a bit like, Star Wars or other things.
Nah, I feel like they should continue from where they left.
They all came from this one.
Yeah, but Star Wars became such a meme in a way now that, oh, here's a story, a random story. Oh, here's the Mandalorian. Oh, here's the Unit Force. Here's this, here's that. It became so messed up. And it will be
That's true.
It will be bad if they do that, because obviously they're working on a budget. Star Wars did a successful thing to become what it became. But Sonic is just, they gave him a kid. He said that I joined the old, and that's it. And now I'm living with the old. What else can, they won't give you a kid fighting something, because then it's gonna be, why will a kid fight,
That's
They
true.
can show you chase him, yes, but I don't feel it's gonna be as successful as it was. Or even if they give you the origin of the red guys who were chasing him, it's still not gonna be the same. It's gonna be twisted. I don't feel like they should do it. I think they should continue from where they left.
Could we not argue that the reason for its lack of success could have been because of the fact that, Star Wars had an exceptional marketing program where, they had toys for kids, they got video games, they're basically, building it into their ecosystem. Sonic doesn't have that.
Can you elaborate on the lack of success?
Yeah, so basically, Star Wars is a multi-billion-pound thing.
Yeah,
Sonic
we're not comparing the two though, mate. The one is a video game, the one started as a film that made the impossible possible back in the day. And they're not comparable.
Yeah, but
the one is a game's mascot, the other one is a universe. Those two should not be compared. What you could compare is saying the Sonic film and the Pikachu film, because they were both based on a video game series.
Oh, okay. Oh, you see, this is the problem. I didn't like the Pikachu one, because Pikachu talked.
Pikachu was a terrible film, let's be honest. It was all Ryan Reynolds. And CGI, nothing else.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, before we conclude this...
That one had a few.
Final thoughts on the movie? Or any rating you had?
Well, I gave it an 8 out of 10 at the time. There's quite a few aspects that I would say about it. I know IMDb gave it a 6.6 out of 10, and Metacritic gave it a score of 47. And I think they're all very, they all stand to reason. Having looked at it on reflection, I would probably put that to more towards the IMDb, maybe around the 7 or 6 mark, because I remember it being the last film I watched before lockdown, and it was a great film. But it's not. It's a film that I will want to see the second film of, but it's not. And yeah, I did get into all the emotion and stuff, but there was a lot of aspects of it. Some of the characters sort of a bit of a cue to it. Maybe I just didn't connect that well with them. That for me, I kind of lost a lot of momentum in it, and so therefore that's the reason I'm giving it that, and that's why it's not as successful as some of the other films that I've seen that I definitely give 10 out of 10, where I was encapsulated in the environment and totally empathised with the characters fully.
Well, fair enough. I completely disagree. I find it to be an 8 to 9. Obviously, I'm not going to compare the movie to other movies and say, oh, this is what... As a movie of its own, I think it made a great build-up for characters. Like, Mike Wazowski was complete, Sonic was complete, the universe was complete, the town came to his rescue. Obviously, it was a movie for kids, so some cliche stuff were there, and they should be there. I feel like the action was there. I never felt bored watching it, or again, the humor was balanced. They did make a great effort to show you that there will be a sequel with Tails returning, so if a second movie comes, it can also be interpreted as a sequel. You can easily continue it. and they can show you that Dr.
Yep.
Eggman is not dead. In fact, he's gonna come back by the end of the Christmas, according to him. So I feel like they did a great effort for the first movie. It was like Lord of the Rings, you know? This is your characters, this is your quest, this is their build-up, now we're moving forward. So I feel like they did a great job on that.
That's true.
Yes, there will be some stuff
Yeah.
that should have been there, but you know what? It is what it is. I don't feel like it's a 4 or a 5. I definitely disagree with that.
Yeah.
Let's not forget,
I'd say
it's the number 1 game-related movie. It broke records, so obviously people loved it.
Yeah. Let's put it like this. For me, it'll be the best film I saw at the cinema of 2020.
You can.
That could have been because it's
Okay.
the only film.
I was gonna say, how many times did you go there? How many times did you go there?
I mean, I only saw it once.
It
but,
is what it is.
No, actually, I did go and see something else at the cinema, but I can't quite remember what it was. Evidently, it wasn't that good. So,
Do not remember
Yeah.
it, yeah. Oh well. Thank you for
It's been
coming,
good.
George, once again.
thanks for having me. It's been great.
And we're definitely gonna get along and say something for the future films and stuff. We should do something.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. Cool.
Take care, mate.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.